Good day, very warm welcome to this meditation experience. Delighted that you could join. And today we're going to explore a journey towards what is perhaps the most valuable thing of all, which is life itself. And I'm just always in awe of how we can take this for granted. Get so caught up in little details and totally lose perspective and the big picture. So connecting with the most valuable aspect, that is life itself, might help us to be a bit lighter, easier, forgiving around all those little details that might come up during the day. So a little journey towards the source of life. Sitting comfortably, and always the invitation, if you choose to experiment with eyes open, but in a natural way, not strained. And starting in a very easy, simple place, the breath of the body. Turning my attention to observe the breath of the body, as if watching from a distance, the lungs at work, the inhale, and that slow exhale that always is magical in dissolving tension and stress. Observing another breath in and that release of air, slowing everything down. I continue to observe the breath of the body, aware that this breath is happening 24/7, all the time. Often, almost always, without my conscious input. The breath is the sign of life in this body. It is a miracle, a wonder, to observe this sign of life. And of course, there are many signs of life I can observe in this body. The beating of the heart, the pumping of the blood, the activation of muscles enabling this body at this moment to remain seated upright. The firing of chemicals, everything continuing to operate, function, the organs, synapses firing, so that I can reflect at this moment. So many incredible signs of life. But these are only the signs of life. Even emergency service will call them signs of life. But what is the source of life? What is that life itself? That's the deepest wonder or miracle, the source of life. That is my journey today. to appreciate the source of life. And so I place my attention in the vehicle or boat of my mind. And once again, I observe the breath of the body, those waves of the breath in and out. And let the waves of the breath carry the boat of my mind in which I sit away from an oh too familiar shore. That shore of worldly, somewhat habituated thoughts about all the details of day-to-day life, right down to the minutiae, roles and responsibilities, tasks and timelines, scenes and situations, hundreds of thoughts that populate the familiar shore I am now drifting away from. I turn to look out towards the sea I am moving into, and those thoughts, those familiar thoughts, recede, fade into the background. In truth, I'm not going out to sea. I'm going inwards towards life, feeling the boat of my mind on those waves of the breath, that calm feeling, going to the source, deeper and deeper inward. And as I travel, my mind becomes more and more calm, more simple. There's simply less and less to think about as I move further and further from that worldly shore. Everything becoming more and more serene, light. And finally, very quietly, I arrive at my destination, the source of life, at the very, very center of my inner world, such a sacred place, because there's nothing more sacred than life. I disembark from the boat of my mind into a deeper experience of this sacred place inside, allowing myself to be embraced by the atmosphere of this very peaceful space inside. And just open. Open as I wait to witness that single point of life, the source, sustaining this entire body. And what do I see? I see really nothing, and yet everything. There's nothing in front of me or behind me, beside me, above or below me, because I myself am that source of life. I am that single point of life deep inside, separate from the body and sustaining this body, giving life to this body. This entire journey has simply been about reconnecting with the self. The realization that most, if not all of the time, I am very disconnected with the self. I'm more entangled and engaged with the outer world. The roles, responsibilities, tasks, and timelines, scenes and situations. And somehow the most valuable aspect, me, gets lost in the shuffle. This rare moment, this sacred journey has allowed me the time and space to be acutely aware of just one thing. The self and the wonder of the self. I am life itself. There is nothing in this world more valuable than me, the living being. I am not just the source of life. I'm also the source of quality of life. The things I may have sought outside actually are found within me. Peace, love, beauty, truth, and joy, all packed within me, the living being, the spark of life. And the same applies to every other human being on this planet. As I prepare to return to that familiar shore, let me bring with me back from inside this deep respect and appreciation of the wonder of the self and every other human being. So as I go through the day, it's not an ordinary day, but a very sacred day, very connected with the one thing that really matters, the source of life, the wonder of the self. Om Shanti.